Hello, I'm the CommanderZander. I remember it so that a standards critic doesn't have to. And neither should you. Well, we're winding down towards February, and it's time to review yet another romantic film. Fortunately, no more purple dinosaurs to worry about, as I mentioned last week. No, I also mentioned that we're going to be reviewing something that involves Harrison Ford. I know what you're thinking. How could Harrison Ford be in a romantic film? This is the same guy who was in Indiana Jones and Star Wars, both action-packed. Quite not his style. But believe me, this movie works for it. This is one of those love triangle type movies with business stuff that needs to be done, if you know what I mean. So with that, let's delve into the one Harrison Ford movie that doesn't involve Indiana Jones and Star Wars from the 80s, Working Girl. Credit for the movie goes to 20th Century Fox, and no, this is not for monetary purposes, this is strictly for reviewing. Besides, how often do I get to review Harrison Ford stuff? As we start our movie with the Statue of Liberty and the other people responsible for the movie, such as the Mike Nichols film. And there he is, Harrison Ford himself. Oh, by the way, this movie also has Sigourney Weaver, who you might recall from Holes and Ghostbusters, and Melanie Griffith, who plays Tish, the secretary, in the movie Working Girl. Short, sweet, to the point, and complete with 80s music, and yes, Alec Baldwin was in this one too. Boy, 88 was some hell of a year for him. Not only was he in that one, he was also in Beetlejuice, which I also reviewed. Seriously, if you want to watch Beetlejuice, go to my channel and search it up. It's there for you. We get a nice panoramic view of New York City. You know, before the Twin Towers were unfortunately taken down by stupid terrorists. And we see a ferry boat riding by across the Hudson River. Or at least I presume it's the Hudson River, with the Brooklyn Bridge, I presume, in the background. Oh, I forgot to mention, the girl who you might remember from School of Rock, who played the principal, and was also in those U.S. Sailor commercials in the early 2000s, and there they are, the Twin Towers themselves. She's in this movie, too. This kind of has a Lion King type feel to it, this music, that is. I don't know why I feel that way. It just has that feel for it. So after this wonderful intro, we're introduced to our characters who work at a merging company. Their goal is to make business and stocks and a bunch of fun stuff. This is Tish, the secretary, to Sigourney Weaver's character, who's the big boss. Happy birthday, dear Tish! If you're not getting that, that's from the trailer for the Despicable Me 3 movie that's coming out, which apparently has one of the South Park superstar phenoms. Tish is going through one of those lives where she has to work, she doesn't like her job, and her boyfriend cheats on her. P.S. Alec Baldwin is that boyfriend that I aforementioned.
You know what? Arbitrage has put out this sort of introduction to tape for the business schools, and why don't we put it in, and if you have any questions...
That would be great, thanks.
We see that Tish feels very, very, very uncomfortable. I would be too when I'm sitting right next to a drinker. You find sex in a pool funny? You must clearly have been drinking way too much booze. Prepping ahead for St. Patty's Day, I presume.
At this moment, but I'm always on the lookout for new booze.
So, let's get to work, shall we? This department's profile last year was dead.
This is Catherine, Tish's boss, played by Sigourney Weaver.
Okay, thanks.
She gets a wonderful view of the Hudson River from her office. You can clearly tell how pressure-packed this job is. Oh my gosh, I broke a nail. I can't believe it. This is going to make me look bad for my interview. Oh, now I've lost a piece of my hair. Oh, the humanity. Clearly the pressure's getting on to them a little too much. You know what would really make them better? Hey, Willie, you want to loan some of that to them? What makes you think I have that, Jimmy Man? Because you like every fucking movie you see. Though I will give you a pass on the Lego Batman movie that you just recently saw.
You in town, I thought I'd throw a little cocktail thing to introduce myself to the department. And Ginny here has some great ideas.
Nothing like cocktail weenies to get you fired up.
The caterer is called Acme Eats. You can get the number from information. They do the usual hors d'oeuvres and such.
And the housekeeper is in Barbados for...
Unfortunately for Catherine, she goes skiing and breaks her foot. So what does Tish do? Lie about herself in order to make herself feel better and get herself out with the world.
5432,000.
Regarding those horrid little knickknacks from the Alberts, dear Eleanor and Gary, thank you so much for the beautiful song.
She uses her video recorder from the 80s to make notes while riding her bike of exercising material.
It's hard to believe, but it's been 8 years since we said goodbye to Wellesley. And of course,
I love how they call it an exercycle. It's a bicycle that allows you to exercise. Exercycle. Kind of sounds like a weird name for a working bike. A stationary bike would have been better. You have to call it the exercycle. Why not just call it the stationary bike? It's a lot better. It's basically the same thing, but it sounds a lot better. Tish realizes that Baldwin is not good for him. No, you don't. You cheated on her with some naked chick, whom you ultimately are going to go out with. Good for you, Tish. You don't need that douchebag, Baldwin. Because everybody knows Harrison Ford is the way to go. He's the most badass actor of all time. And I stand by Playboy's statement. He should be running in 4 years. Because we all know Trump ain't gonna last that long. It's a foggy day on the ferry boat ride, and it makes you think you're in San Francisco, but sadly it's New York. It's already depressing as it is. So, how does Tish meet up with Harrison Ford, who plays the wonderful Jack Trainer, and oh, there he is.
Why, do you know?
A nice little party.
I promised myself that when I saw you, I would get to know you. You're the first one I've seen.
See, Harrison Ford knows how to handle a chick, unlike that dickhole Alec Baldwin. He knows that you gotta take it nice and slow. That's what makes him a badass. He's the ultimate chick magnet. Unlike you, Playboy, you're a shit magnet. No, I'm a chick! C-H-I-C-K, you fucking idiot! You want me to bring back your buddies? They can say the same thing, I can vouch. No, please don't. Quick guacamole!
Just left.
Yes! Oh, hi, Fred Burger. The two have a nice conversation. She says one too much tequila, and next thing you know, she's being carried unconscious by Harrison Ford. Oh, what a badass moment this is! Harrison Ford being a gentleman. Something Alec Baldwin will never be. See, that's how you handle a lady. When she's passed down and doesn't know where the hell she's going, you take her home. And don't take advantage of her. Fortunately, Harrison Ford does not that. I mean, seriously, she is like way passed out. I'm surprised she's moving her head. My God. So what does Jack Trainer do? He sets her upright and asks her for a drink. Even though she's not going to hear it because, quite frankly, her mind's busy at the moment. Being mindless.
Would you like a night?
Okay, that's very nice of you to ask, Jack, but you do realize she's passed out. She's not going to hear a thing.
For coffee.
Look how lifelike the sleeping is. You could clearly tell she's passed out. Look at the deep breathing. That is magnificent acting. I give Melanie Griffith a thumbs up. That's terrific acting of acting like you're passed out.
I might have a little brandy myself.
We then transition to the next day, and when you know, these are the two that are meeting for that important meeting. What an awkward way to get to know each other. Don't tell each other's names, and then when you see her the next day, it's like, oh my god. That type of moment.
One fell swoop accomplished two important tasks.
They want to merge, so they can become an even bigger threat to the world. And Jack Trainer says yes. Actually, that's not my way to say it. Here's how Fred Burger would say that. Yes!
Interesting idea.
And the merger works perfectly.
But I don't like it. Trash.
May I help you?
Jack Trainer to see Miss McGill.
There she is, with that boxy dress with the shoulder pads and the 80s hairstyle. My God.
Mr. Jack Trainer to see you, Miss McGill.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Hold all calls, Miss McGill.
Yes, Cynthia, thank you.
Look at her.
Can I get you anything, Mr. Trainer? Coffee, tea, me?
Hey, she does a really good job pretending to be the secretary. She knows what a secretary does. Hey, Playboy, can I get you something to drink? Can I get you like a coffee, booze, Guinness, booze, tea, booze? Emphasis on booze. No, you can get me an Irish brew. Irish brew?
Okay?
All the drinks, you have to pick that one. Clearly, you're prepped for Patty's Day too.
Exactly.
The earth moved. The angels wept.
Jack and Trish relive what happened the night before and discover that they have a romantic relationship with one another because they work so well together. No, I'm serious. They do really work well together.
I woke up in my underwear.
I'll bet you look nice.
Did you get...
She's dusting.
We then cut to Trish reuniting with Baldwin. Baldwin wants to tie the knot, and Trish, as a lady, says... Well, first, let's do this. Hey, Frankfurt Burger, what does a woman do when she's asked to be married? What does she say? Yes!
No, I just meant the hair.
And what does Trish say?
Make fun of
No, you look good.
She says maybe, which is his way of saying fuck you. No. No, seriously, that's what he says.
Tess, will you marry me?
Awkward.
Maybe.
Burn! Because she knows she doesn't want to be with you, Baldwin. Nobody wants to marry a Baldwin. The relationship doesn't end well anyways. So they go outside the yacht, and he asks her for her honest answer. And how does he respond to that?
You get your priorities straight. Solidified things in my life. You're not the only one who's got plans, you know.
I said maybe.
Maybe means dick. Fuck maybe. I want an answer now.
Please don't yell at me. You treat me like I'm...
Why are we always talking about the way you get treated, huh? Who the fuck died and made you Grace Kelly?
I am that steak. You can't just order me.
Look, I don't need this. You get your priorities straight. Maybe we'll talk. Right now, we're history.
She needs to get her priorities straight. Maybe you're the one that needs to get your priorities straight. After all, you're the one who cheated on her, and now you're trying to get back together with her? No! She has every right to be fucking mad at him. Fuck you and your stupid bullshit. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, Baldwin. Fuck you. You and fucking Trump can kiss my fucking ass. So after that melodramatic moment, we see Trish decides to move on with the business plan.
What are you talking about?
She has another conversation with Harrison Ford.
Good men who aren't at the other end of the line anymore, all because of...
And set up.
And what is Harrison Ford doing at the time of said conversation?
You're in no particular...
Changing shirts and showing off his badass body. Bravo, Harrison Ford, bravo. You are going to be a worthy president.
Nick's really raw.
And just when you think things are going really smoothly between these two, guess who returns from her injury? Via a phone call, as Tish is about to say something very, 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 very important. Catherine's coming back! Oh, the love triangle Harrison Ford got himself into. Now he's gonna be doing it with 2 hot frickin' chicks. I wish I could do that. Oh, I could do that in my sleep. That's nothing, though. I've done way more than that. Kind of out for me, Fred Fibberger? Yes. Rick Guacamole!
Me too.
However, Jack Trainer turns her down because Trish is the one that's the big girl in her life. Or his life. By the way, she's on loopy pills, in case you're wondering the mood that she's in.
The little fridge, you want to get it for us?
Nice injury. Amazing that nobody else signed the cast. Yeah, I'd be that way too. I wonder how Michael Kelso was able to handle Lori and Jackie this way. Maybe he could give Harrison Ford some pointers. So just when the two are about to have everything go their way and everything seems right with the world, who interrupts the meeting but Catherine, because she bestows upon Trish's book.
This is a closed meeting.
And so the truth is revealed.
What the hell is going on?
You're being tricked. That's what's going on.
Yeah. Eventually, we discover that Baldwin's living a happy life. Yeah, fuck you, Baldwin. And that Trish is actually the one that's telling the truth. And she knows exactly how this unfolded, unlike Christian, which gets her busted. Care to explain, Trish?
The people page? No, this...
You know, the same day, I'll never forget this. I'm reading page 6 of the Post, and there's this item on Bobby Stein, the radio talk show guy who does all those gross jokes about Ethiopia and the Betty Ford Center. Well, anyway, he's hosting this charity auction that night, real blue bloods and like that.
That's a lot of information. I don't think I could delve that all in my mind that quickly.
And there's this picture of your daughter, see a nice picture, and she's helping to organize the charity ball. So I started to think, Trask, radio, Trask.
Ingenious
And then I
idea.
hooked up with Jack, and he came
It
up
worked
with
out
this
perfectly because it gets Christine fired and she becomes her own boss.
Share home before dark.
Ah, like a true couple. Don't hope your first date goes well at Trask Industries, where she gets her own big-time office
I'm sorry about...
and her own personal secretary.
That's where I...
And she gets to rub it in with the nice view outside. And we get to end the movie with the same song that we began the movie with in the background. And in typical 80s fashions, we end with her looking out the window to her new job while being on the phone, because that's how most 80s stuff ended at that time. At least 80s versions of this stuff. And so that is Working Girl. Quite frankly, I absolutely enjoyed it way better than that stupid fucking purple dinosaur. But even besides that, I really do think this is a good movie. If you're looking for something romantic, this is definitely the thing for you. It's not really that romantic, but it still passes as a romantic movie. And Harrison Ford, by golly, proves that he is a flexible actor when it comes to this. Because this is not his normal bread and butter. He's usually in the action movies. The fact that he's able to do well in a romantic comedy is absolutely pure genius. And that is why I think he will kick ass in 2020 for president. So with that, we have officially concluded on the romantic film